Hello, I'm Mary with the Feather Place, and today we're going to make this sweet epaulette using embroidery and these awesome tie-dye turkey feathers and this felt and wire epaulette frame. So I love embroidery, and I thought, what a great way to use it in this epaulette tutorial. So I've done a little embroidery on one side, and then we have all of this feather glory in the back. Let's see how to do it. For today's tutorial, you're gonna need a variety of materials, starting with these cool tie-dye turkey quills from the Feather Place. Also, we have this awesome epaulette frame. It makes things so easy. We have a glue gun and then a lot of embroidery supplies. So starting with our embroidery floss, we have needles, little embroidery scissors, and then I have like a larger pair. And I have some craft felt here that I'm working with and a good old embroidery hoop. And I also have some fun crystals for stoning and what are these? Clothespins and then tweezers just in case. And I think that's it. Let's get started. So to start, we're going to take our epaulette frame and trace it onto our felt. You'll want to do one tracing for each side or each shoulder, and we'll have like fabric on one side of the shoulder and then feathers on the back. And I'm using just a charcoal pencil since I'm using a black felt, but if you had a lighter felt, you can just use a regular pencil or like one of those fancy washout markers. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly trace, and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of an allowance around it, maybe a ½ inch to an inch, just so that when we're putting it on later, we'll have plenty of room. Voila! Of course, you can do any design that you want, but I've kind of gone with this kind of paisley-esque type floral motif. And you can position it however you want on your epaulette as well. Just remember that you're going to have to be doing this twice, so you want to make sure that everything is like a mirror of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and just place it down. And I might take one of my straight pins here and just kind of pin it into place. So I finished tracing, and you can see my design there. Now we can get ready for embroidery. So this is an embroidery hoop, and to use the hoop, you'll want the solid circle on the back of the fabric, and then you take the one with the tightener onto the top. Sometimes people put them on upside down. And I'm going to be just working with a satin stitch today, so I'm going to be using the entire 6 strands of this embroidery floss. So we'll make just a little knot at the end. And I'm going to just start by filling in this stem here with this purple. And I'm going to be using what's called a satin stitch, and it's a nice filling stitch, and you'll see why. So I'm going to just start on the back of my fabric and pull forward. And you want to work with embroidery floss that's not too long because it'll get knotted. A good maybe 8 inches, 10 inches tops. So I just made a simple stitch like this, and what I'm going to do now is come up right next to that and do another one. And I'm just going to keep building onto that. And I'm showing this stitch just because it's the one I really like it for filling in, you know, lines and stuff, and I used it for this whole project. And then when I'm finished with the section, I'm just gonna come to the back, give it a little knot, and then we'll take our scissors and just cut it on off. So now we're all done with the embroidery, and we're gonna just add some rhinestones. And you can add the rhinestones beforehand if you know, it doesn't really matter. I just chose to do that afterwards. So I'm gonna just go ahead and glue them on down. You don't want to use too much glue because when you press it down, you'll have glue coming out of the sides. So just like a little dot like that will be just fine. And you can get these little strings off later. This is where your tweezers might come in handy for these littler rhinestones. But if you have a steady or small hands, then you should be okay. So now we're just gonna cut it out. And again, I've made this a little bit bigger than my actual epaulette piece, just so that we can adjust it a little bit if we need to. So now I'm ready to adhere it to my epaulette frame. And you can see that this frame is pretty pliable because of the wire that's in it, which makes it really nice if you want to make it more form-fitting or flat, or even curl it up this way. There are a lot of options, but I kind of chose just to kind of curl it forward so it'll fit the shoulder more. So I think I've gotten the placement of this side pretty well done since I've already completed the other side. So I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing. I like to start, I just started at the bottom and kind of worked my way up, and I'm not gluing really all under the fabric in these parts, just in case it kind of came through. I'm just really sticking to the reverse side of the epaulette where I left that extra fabric so that it doesn't show. So I'm going to start here on the bottom and just kind of glue on that extra lip of fabric just a little bit. I'm not globbing it on by any means. I'm just trying to make it easy on myself. And I'm going to try to not get on that metal clasp. And you can also come back around when you're finished with this and clip off any extra fabric that you don't want on there. Really, the possibilities are endless with this frame. I mean, I found it so easy to use because it's so movable and sturdy. You don't have to worry about it falling apart. So we've got our felt piece all on this side, and you can see the gorgeous, gorgeous shoulder that's finished. We're gonna add the feathers to this one, and then we'll be ready to go. So you can see up here, I kind of like miscalculated with my felt placement, but it's okay because these feathers will be kind of like covering it. Okay, so again, we're using these tie-dye turkey quills from the Feather Place, and can you just see how great these look? I mean, the tie-dye is really in right now, but I really love these two colors together. And you can, of course, add other colors as well. But I have the stones on here to kind of accent them a little bit. But I'm just really pleased with how these turned out. I love the tie-dye. So now we're going to just start by laying our feathers out where we want them to be placed. And again, I'm just taking my straight pins and kind of tacking them into place. It's nice to have one side done so that I know where to place the other side, but when you're just starting out, it's kind of just a lot of playing around and a lot of moving. If you have a friend, they can try it on for you, and you can kind of like get it on the body experience so you know exactly how it's going to look. But you can always add feathers and take feathers away. I don't tend to use a lot of glue at first just so that I'm able to move things around. And this is going to be the base layer, and then we'll have shorter feathers on top of this. So when I'm gluing, I'm only gluing on the spine of the feather for two reasons. One, it makes a sturdier kind of gluing, if you will. And if I mess up, I can just take it right off and it'll kind of peel away. Whereas if I got it on this part of the feather, it would kind of mat in there and, look bad. And I'm kind of just holding it in place. Because of the spine being so thick, sometimes it kind of like bounces away if the glue isn't set first. So you want to make sure that that's actually adhering. Another thing to mention is when you're purchasing the feathers, you want to make sure that you pay attention to the direction that the feather is going. For this right side, I'm using right side feathers, and then the left side that I've already finished were left-sided feathers. And that's clearly marked on the package. So we've got this base layer all glued down, and I've just pinned my top layer in place. And for these feathers here, I've just kind of cut them where I needed the length. I even kind of rounded out some of the edges a little bit, which is nice to have these finer scissors for. And just think of feathers as hair. I mean, you can cut it, you can curl it. There's so many possibilities. And then we'll finish it off with some rhinestone action. The rhinestones definitely help kind of cover up those overlaps. And I'm trying to get these as close to the other side placement as I can, but just keep in mind that all these feathers are different, so nothing is perfect. Now for these top ones, again, you can see how short they are, and I've just taken my larger feathers here and just kind of cut where I'd like them to be. And I just really liked this blue here to add a little pop on that front. And then I also kind of, to make them curve a little bit, almost not necessarily broken, but just kind of popped that spine into a curved position. And it does it pretty easily. And then it kind of shapes to the epaulette a little better. And I might kind of bend these a little bit so we'll get that nice curved sensation. Sometimes they pop. Don't be alarmed. It's okay. Yeah. So you can see the final product. Look at this epaulette. It is so cute. We have embroidery, we have the rhinestones, we have the beautiful tie-dye turkey feathers, and this sweet epaulette frame. Honestly, truly, it is so comfortable. I feel like I can move around in it. It's not gonna fall off of me. I could add more feathers if I wanted to, and nothing's poking. Comfort is very key in my world, and this is passing all tests. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.